They thought it was just another cheap roadside motel, a place to rest, shower, and move on. But the walls of this forgotten stop along Route 66 hide more than peeling paint and broken neon signs. Inside, the rooms are not empty. They're already occupied, and the guests who checked in never checked out. This is the story of the abandoned motel on Route 66. It was just after midnight when 4 travelers, Alex, Jordan, Mia, and Kevin, pulled off the endless stretch of Route 66. They'd been driving for hours, headlights cutting through the desert darkness. No other cars in sight. When the neon sign flickered in the distance, Desert View Motel vacancy, they sighed in relief. The parking lot was empty. The office light buzzed faintly, casting a pale glow over cracked pavement. Inside, the clerk was nowhere to be found. Just a key on the counter, with a faded tag that read, Room 6. Guess it's self-service, Jordan joked, forcing a laugh. But his smile didn't reach his eyes. The room smelled of mildew, curtains stiff with dust, wallpaper peeled in jagged strips. The bathroom mirror was cracked, and the carpet was stained with something dark they didn't want to name. Still, exhaustion pushed them to settle in. They told themselves one night, then gone. But sleep didn't come easy. Around 2 a.m., Mia awoke to the sound of footsteps pacing outside their room. Heavy, slow. She peered through the blinds, but the parking lot was empty. Just endless desert stretching into blackness. From the room next door came a muffled sob. A woman's voice whispering, "Please, let me out." The next morning, the front desk was still deserted. But in the guest book, Alex found something odd. The last written entry was dated 1978. Beneath shaky names, scrawled in red ink, were the words, "Don't stay in room 6. Chills rippled through the group. But when they looked around, they realized there were no other cars, no signs of recent life. And yet, last night they had heard people, voices, footsteps. That night, the motel came alive. Doors slammed down the hallway. Shadows stretched long against the stained walls. Kevin swore he saw a figure standing at the end of the corridor, head bent, arms limp. But when he blinked, it was gone. In the bathroom mirror, Mia saw her reflection. But behind her stood a man in a bellhop uniform, his face caved in, eyes hollow. She turned, and no one was there. The mirror cracked down the middle with a shriek. The walls whispered. Every room seemed to breathe. They found the truth buried in a locked drawer in the office. A yellowed newspaper clipping. In 1978, a series of grisly murders had taken place at the Desert View Motel. Guests were lured inside. Their bodies never recovered. Locals whispered the victims were buried beneath the floorboards. The motel was shut down, left to rot. But the victims never left. Their screams, their terror, soaked into the walls, replaying night after night. Every new traveler who entered became part of the cycle. The motel didn't just keep ghosts, it made new ones. By the third night, the friends were breaking. Jordan wanted to run, but every time they tried to leave, the road curved back to the motel. The desert swallowed the highway, forcing them into its jaws again and again. That night, the voices returned, louder, clearer. The sound of fingernails scratching against the walls. The cries of children echoing from the empty pool. And in their room, the air grew icy as the shadows took form. Dozens of them, guests from long ago. Faces pale, mouths open in eternal screams. The lights flickered. The key to room 6 rattled on the nightstand. And the door creaked open on its own. No one knows exactly what happened next. When the sun rose, the parking lot was empty again. Room 6 was silent. But on the counter in the office sat a new set of keys, tagged with 4 names scrawled beneath them. Alex, Jordan, Mia, Kevin. The motel had claimed new guests. If you ever find yourself driving Route 66, and you see the Desert View Motel glowing faintly in the distance, don't stop. Don't check in. Because the rooms are never truly empty, and you might never check out.